everyone, welcome to Grow Roots. This is Shannon and welcome to my December 2023 front garden tour. I am starting from a different location today because I have things in my way. So you'll have to excuse me a little bit. I'll have to sidestep a little because there's this very large Christmas tree decoration that we have going on. We have our nativity scene, and my husband is huge on decorating for Christmas, and you're just seeing the backside of it because right now this is the front garden tour, but if you stick around to the end, I will show you all of our Christmas decorations. And then also I have a full video for you at night of what our Christmas decorations look like, and so I will link that in the description below or in the top as well if you want to see our Christmas decorations. But I know a lot of you really are just in it for the garden tours, and so that's why I'm starting right here where I can. I think the garden is looking actually really good for this time of December. Today is, okay, it's what, December 16th today, and for mid to late December, the perennials are looking pretty good. The hydrangeas are looking amazing. Some things have gone to sleep, and I will show you. So yeah, here we go. So I am going to start right here at my 3-tier planter this time because this is where I have access. I just wanted to point out there is a red spotlight back there. That's part of our Christmas decoration. So if you're wondering what that red light is, it's our Christmas decor. But going down here, I had perennialized mums planted here earlier this season. Feel free to watch my earlier garden tours, March, April, May. They were awesome. But I took them out, long story short, but I explained in my other videos, so feel free to watch those about why I took my perennialized mums out. But in its place, I put variegated liriope, and I'm pretty excited about that. The liriope does really well here in North Texas. It withstands the heat, it withstands drought pretty well, I think, and it blooms purple flowers, so it's absolutely beautiful, and I'm excited to see that just kind of all around the 3-tier planter. Down here, somewhat as a placeholder just for color right now, I planted purple heart cuttings here earlier this season, and they are doing pretty good. I'm noticing now that I get closer I'm noticing that they're starting to peter out. We've had a few freezes. We've had some cold temperatures. So, you know, they're expected to do that. They are perennial here in North Texas. However, in the winter, they die back and then they'll come back in the spring. But right now, it's a beautiful pop of color, especially with these variegated liriope little wispy leaves. I just love it. There's also a little Tradescantia zebrina down there. It's my houseplant cuttings that I put in there this season just to kind of fill the space, and they're still going strong, but again, they will die back. They are an annual if they are left outside here in North Texas. On this second tier here, I am loving how this is turning out. This is a perennial dianthus called Pink's Mountain Frost Pink Twinkle. It's got a little flower for me, but I love the silver gray foliage here. And I probably will transplant that in the spring because I need to revamp these. I need to get new coconut fiber liners and revamp the soil because annuals were in there and all. So this isn't a permanent spot, just for the winter as a placeholder. I got these on clearance, and so I popped them there because there was space. I also have some pansies right there. I have just some, they're labeled as annual dianthus right there that I just picked up maybe from Walmart. You know, just in the 4-packs I picked some up just for some color. And I've also added some pine cones. I think they look so cute, especially for the winter time. These were from a pine tree, I I think it's a loblolly pine tree, if I'm not mistaken, in our neighborhood, and I take walks past it frequently, and it's giving us these amazing pine cones right now. So I picked up quite a bunch to fill in for my containers, and I know the owners, they're just fine with it. So yeah, some pine cones. And then up on top is not looking as great, but this was my balloon flower that has now gone to sleep for the season. But I also have some pansies. They just were covered up by the balloon flower for quite some time, so they're just now getting exposed to the sun. And so they're just now kind of growing and kicking it into full gear. So here's a bud that we've got coming here. But I've got some more pine cones as well. And I've got the jasmine vine, which looks so cool with that wreath hung at the very top of that trellis. I think it just looks so awesome, but it is supposed to be evergreen here in North Texas. It hasn't been the case for me in the last 3 seasons. We always tend to get like down to about 5 or 0 at some point, although we're not supposed to here in what is now zone 8B, but the last 2 out of 4 years we've gone down to 0 or -1. So this vine will not stay evergreen in those conditions. It will die back all the way down to the roots, which it did for me last year too. So but anyway, it looks beautiful there. I still have this amazing lantana. It is starting to go bye-bye. It is labeled as an annual. It is pink bandana lantana. This is one plant in a fairly small pot, might I add. It's quadruple the size of the pot probably. And I really wanted to transplant it somewhere. I just didn't get around to it and figured, well, it's still going strong for the most part. I've still got lots of blooms down here where it's been a little bit more protected from the few freezes that we have had. And the top is dying back, but I'm just gonna leave it. If it comes back for me, it comes back. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's marginal here in North Texas, although they're labeled as annuals. They're supposed to survive in zones 9 through 11, I believe. We're zone 8B, so you know, who knows? Could be. I have my limelight hydrangea standard, which is, I cut the blooms off of it because they were pretty much falling off. The lantana is kind of popping into it, but it's starting to go to sleep. I've still got vinca that's kind of going strong. It's a little bit protected in this area, so it's done better than the other vinca that I have. Down here, I have the sunshine ligustrum, which is also, this is an evergreen shrub. It's unbelievable. I love, love, love it. But I did trim it back fairly close to the end of fall, and so the tops are just a little bit, what do you call them, singed? Maybe burned by that frost, I don't know, but it still looks unbelievable. It's awesome, especially for fall color. It still gives us this yellow, so I love it. I have a couple pots down here. I had a shopping trip where I got tons of plants on clearance and so I have some in pots here. This is, I believe, lemon ball sedum. This is just an annual dianthus from Walmart. Again, that's a pansy. Look at that. That is just your normal pansies that I picked up from Walmart. And the same thing here. This is a pansy, and that's a dianthus, and then this is lemon ball sedum, which is a perennial for us. So I used to have May night salvia all here, and I decided to get rid of them. They were a lot shorter, the foliage, there you go, than what needs to be in front of this large shrub. I need a more medium-sized plant to go there. So I knew I was going to pull them forward and transplant them here, but not all of them made it, unfortunately. This one's fine. It's doing fine. I have a bunch of them here. So there's 3 of them right here. I wanted it to be that way. I wanted a bunch here on the border. And then I transplanted 1, 2, 3. You can see that one didn't make it. This one's borderline. This one did not make it. And then let's see. I know I've transplanted one there, but it died back really fast. So that's 4. Is that 4 or 5? And then there's 2 right there. That's borderline anyway because it's a part shade environment right there. So those 2 actually did okay. These that I did here did not make it. And then this one didn't make it. So I don't know. That's really interesting because it's in the more shady locations. I don't know. Those in the shade made it. These, I don't know. We'll have to play it by ear. But I do kind of want them to be more clumped together as opposed to in a straight line anyway. I think that plant does better that way. So yeah, it'll still be pretty, even though not all of them made it. But in its place, I have here a perennial salvia called Hot Trumpet. It even has, is this a bloom spike for me? I do believe so. We've had a warm fall, so it's actually getting ready to bloom for me. Look at that. Yes, it sure is. That is so cool. Anyway, I love the lime green foliage on this with the bright red. I think it's going to be beautiful. And then I also have another perennial salvia, Salvia Greggi. It's going to get massive. My neighbor had one. Many other people have them in the neighborhood and they get massive. But these beautiful pink flowers, it's still going strong for me. These salvia are just rock stars here in Texas. Here I have a perennial dianthus that I grew from seed last spring. It's never flowered for me. It's the biannual type, and apparently, I didn't realize this, it doesn't bloom its first year. But it's been almost a year. I am waiting for these to bloom in the winter. They typically do, so please bloom for me. But it's beautiful there. I do like just the foliage alone. I have a daylily here that is a beautiful, it is a coral color, and I divided my one daylily that was located over there. I divided it, and so this is its baby or its division, and it's doing fine. And again, the Maynite salvia there. I picked up another daylily on clearance, and for the life of me, I cannot remember its name. And this tag got broken. Hemerocallis. I don't know the common name, but it is a red daylily with a yellow throat. I think it will be beautiful. So yeah, I do have a video of all of these clearance plants. So if you're interested in what the name of that is, I'll pop that video up on the screen and you can click on that and watch it. And then here's another Salvia Greggi. And then here's another Hot Trumpet Salvia as well. And again, it's getting ready to bloom. That's so cool. Okay, so I'm going to try to get out and I'm going to try to show you my pansies and Dusty Miller. Okay, so I picked up these pansies and Dusty Miller in mid-October at Green Acres, and they were itty bitty plants. And wow, look at this. These Dusty Miller are huge and they're doing fantastic. And gosh, these are matrix pansies. I don't recall the exact variety. I have a tag in here somewhere, but matrix pansies are what these are, and they're stunning. I love pansies. I don't know about y'all, but I just absolutely love them, and I think they're amazing color. When everything else is going to sleep, these guys are waking up, and I love to add them in the border. And honestly, most of the time my pansies make it until I take them out because I'm wanting to put in my summer annuals. I mean, they're still looking good through what, maybe late April, early May. We'll see. But yeah, pansies just do really well here in North Texas, at least for me. And I just think they're huge. I mean, here's my hand. And look how big this plume is. I mean, it's just, oh, they're stunning. You can see that they do better here, which is more full sun, than they do over here, which is shaded just a bit from this Christmas tree decoration, and then also the Vitex tree, which has now gone to sleep. Okay, Okay, so I've just kind of crossed over onto this side here, but yeah, you can see the pansies are just a little bit smaller over here. They're getting less sun, and the Dusty Miller is the same as well. I have another coral color daylily right there. Again, there's May Night Salvia that I transplanted there and there. And then there's good old Lambo, my garden sheep. Let me see if I can get around this tree. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so we've got a lot of leaves. The Vitex has lost all of its leaves, and so you can barely see. I got to get in here and clean this up just a little bit, but this is my Burgundy Glow Ajuga. I have another type of ground cover that is variegated Vinca Major. I'm really excited. Both of these will bloom purple in the springtime, hopefully. More Burgundy Glow Ajuga over there, and more variegated Vinca down there. Looking back behind the Vitex tree is my Endless Summer Hydrangea. Wow, look at that. Look at that glow. I don't know if I've ever seen it look like this. So there was something about the temperatures this year that made the fall foliage in North Texas just unbelievable. And my Endless Summer Hydrangeas were absolutely part of that. Look at the deep maroon color that the bloom heads formed, and then just this burgundy foliage. It's just stunning. I can't even believe it. It has done this before, but not to this extent. Now this is some kind of insect damage for sure that I'm just noticing. I have no idea what. This is the only part of the plant that's affected. Everything else like looks fine. I have no idea, but I mean, that's okay. It's absolutely beautiful. Endless Summer Hydrangeas, a lot of people think that we cannot grow them here in North Texas, but we absolutely can if you plant them in the right spot. This one loves being shaded by the Vitex tree. It's covered by it most of the summer, and now in the winter it's actually getting quite a bit of sun, but it's doing great. As long as the temperatures are cooler, it is fine with a little bit of sun, but not in the heat of our summers. You have to plant them in the shade. They can only get a little bit of morning sun with our heat in the summer. So just showing you a little bit of the Vitex tree and the winter interest that it produces with the dead blooms. I just really kind of like it. It's done for the season. It's dropped all of its leaves, but it still just looks pretty cool right there. It is, the sun is setting. I am losing my light, but anyway, I'll try and hurry this up. But oh, look at that. Look at that hydrangea. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, moving on to my porch. There is a green tint on everything because we do have, it's part of our Christmas decor. Our green lights are shining and I am losing light, but I just wanted to show you the Endless Summer Hydrangea that I have on my porch. I call it Big Daddy. It's 11 years old. Just absolutely spectacular. Oh, we got a Mr. Spider. They do like to hang out right here because this is where a lot of the bugs go. But it's just, wow, stunning. You can tell I just love hydrangeas, y'all. Okay, so here I have a different type of hydrangea. This is a variegated lace cap hydrangea, I believe. Had a rough time. This is its first season with me, and the heat of this summer, the sun comes in from over here, so it gets the brunt of the sun in the morning, and it just had a really hard time with it, and it defoliated almost completely. Here's some of the leaves that are left over that didn't defoliate, but after it defoliated, it refoliated in the sense that it grew brand new leaves. And I did not see a single bloom from this hydrangea this season. I was kind of bummed about that, but for the foliage alone, it is a spectacular plant. And I love that it had such a hard time and it defoliated, but it came right back for me. I mean, what more can you ask from a plant? It's just absolutely gorgeous. And then these are all white. Can you believe it? All white. It's just, oh, I just love this plant. And I had coleus in this pot along with some cascading English ivy, and obviously the coleus is done for the season for sure, but this cascading ivy I learned is perennial in our area. So I built a little trellis out of bamboo sticks, leftover bamboo sticks. I mean, they're old. And I created just this little trellis that the English ivy can climb up. And then I have the same thing going on over here, except I call myself really frugal. Okay, I didn't have the money for another trellis. I didn't have any more bamboo sticks, but I did have this plant stand, and I thought, wow, that actually would look pretty with English ivy climbing up it, right? So I I put my plant stand in here, and I like it, honestly. It's quirky, it's a little whimsical, it's a little bit beautiful in my opinion, and I'm gonna be able to like put a stand on this and more plants. I think. I did also put some dianthus down there that I picked up again from Walmart, just the annual dianthus. And there's some more pine cones down there, but I just really love the way that container turned out. I think that really kind of does it. I always kind of skip over because these are my boxwoods. They're doing great. They were brand new this season. They were little itty bitty babies, and they've grown quite a bit. Last year, I planted alliums in between each boxwood, and 0 of them came up this year. 0. So, yeah, I want to put some ground cover. I think that's what I'm going to do. Maybe some ajuga. I don't know. If you guys have ideas of what to put in between these boxwood, please let me know. I do think it's lacking a little bit, but I do love them. And here we go. The sun has pretty much set. For those of you who want to stick around, I will show you really quickly my Christmas decor. I'll start over here. My husband loves this Merry Christmas, y'all. We kind of rehabbed it. It was kind of broken when we bought it secondhand, and my husband fixed it. And we have our little Rudolph snowman, abominable snowman, Frosty. Everybody loves Mr. Brain Freeze. I got a llama that I actually won one year in a gingerbread house contest thing. We have our trees that we picked up on clearance last year. And we have our big snowman head here. In the front here, these were my containers that had some annual plants, and now they have ornaments in them with a bow, which I think is really super cute. And there's the other one. Over here is something I'm really super proud of. A gingerbread house. I made this gingerbread house from a Little Tykes Cape Cottage playhouse, and I pretty much did it all my own. I am thinking about doing a separate video on exactly how I did it and what materials I used and links to all of those things, but it is super cute. The kids in the neighborhood absolutely love it. I do let them go in and they can play and pop their little heads out the windows, and that's absolutely what it's for. That's why we don't have lights on this part of the grass. There's a whole little pathway for them so they can come in and play inside the gingerbread house. I just love it. There's our Ralphie. Oh, we have our little gingerbread street sign as well. We've got Santa and his reindeer at the North Pole. And the absolute reason for Christmas, we could not do our Christmas display without our nativity. My husband works really hard every year on this to make sure that it's absolutely perfect and up. We have that Star of Bethlehem above it. This is the reason we celebrate Christmas, y'all. We have our Merry Christmas sign with Elf and Santa. And this tree that my husband built all by himself. And there's our house. So yeah, thank y'all so much for joining me on this December 2023 front garden tour. I absolutely appreciate each and every one of you for watching. I hope that you'll subscribe to my channel, as I do promise to do monthly garden tours of both my front and backyard and other videos along the way. I hope y'all have a fabulous day. Bye-bye.